Your life remains unchanged until you grasp one fundamental reality. Your mind designs the world you experience. Stay here with me to the finish. The concluding insights will genuinely transform how you see things. The initial reality I need you to absorb, truly absorb, is this. Your mind accepts whatever you consistently feed it. Gradually, it silently constructs your existence based on that narrative. Pause and reflect on that. Each repeated idea, music, each uncertainty you allow, each worry you practice in music quiet, your mind regards it as a set of directions. It never stops to evaluate if that notion of music holds truth, justice, or compassion. It just takes it in, strengthens it, and ultimately converts it into your existence. I have music witnessed this unfold not only in my personal path, but in countless lives globally. Intelligent, talented, remarkable people who stayed stuck not because chances were absent, but due to the soft murmur within them repeating, music, you're unprepared or you're inadequate or this exceeds what someone like you can handle. The most perilous aspect is these notions rarely feel theatrical. Music often they appear sensible, rational, even safeguarding. They masquerade as prudence. They masquerade as modesty. Yet gradually, they turn into barriers you never music deliberately selected. Your mind resembles rich earth. Whatever seed you sow inside it, terror, music, or trust, uncertainty or conviction, lack or potential, it will flourish. Plant terror daily and you gather reluctance. Music, plant envy and you gather unease. Plant judgment and you gather self-questioning. Music, yet plant bravery. Even while trembling, plant potential. Even without viewing the full route, plant the basic conviction that you music deserve expansion, deserve education, deserve occupying room. And your mind starts generating an entirely fresh existence. I recall times early on my path when I stepped into spaces, music, feeling completely out of place. Unfamiliar field, unfamiliar customs, unfamiliar music standards, and the strongest sound in that space belonged to no one else. It came from inside my head wondering, do you fit here? That single inquiry can diminish your vitality, your aura, your assurance. Since when your mind decides you don't fit, your body obeys. Your speech grows quieter. Your decisions turn cautious. Your aspirations turn flexible. Then one day I understood something profound. Music, the world wasn't assigning my position. My own thinking was. So I altered the inquiry. I quit wondering do I fit music and began declaring to myself I deserve my position, I will expand. To fill this area, I will master what I lack, I will transform into whoever this instant demands. And gradually, music as a change occurred not instantly, not magically, but progressively, since assurance isn't something your minds have brought clear to. Sometimes a mind acquires via repetition. Music, each moment you address yourself with power, rather than hesitation, you rewrite your inner narrative. And here is what most overlook. Music, your mind stays attentive. It hears when you laugh about your setbacks. It hears when you judge your appearance, your efforts, your advancement. It hears when you label your successes as chance. Gradually it forms an identity from those habits. Picture residing in a home where somebody continually extinguishes lights whenever you attempt progress. Music eventually you cease striding boldly. That describes what harmful inner speech achieves. It reduces your inner brightness. Yet the reverse holds equal truth. When you start addressing yourself music with dignity, tolerance, and faith, your mind begins restoring illumination. You start embracing risks you previously dodged. You start noticing possibilities where you previously noticed danger. You start navigating existence with a calm assurance declaring, I might lack full knowledge now, but I possess the ability to acquire it. And ability surpasses perfection in strength. Consider the tales you recite daily. I'm terrible with finances. I'm not imaginative. I'm timid. Music, I'm unfortunate. These aren't character features. They represent practiced selves. And anything practiced sufficiently long becomes your safe space, even while restricting you. Your mind prefers the known over development. That's why transformation feels uneasy initially. When you start narrating a fresh tale, I am advancing. I am progressing. I am gaining strength. Your mind pushes back since it hasn't encountered that tale previously. But if you repeat it through deeds, through steadiness, ham music through minor proof daily. Your mind starts accepting it, and once your mind accepts it, your conduct matches it. Ham music, and once your conduct matches, your existence starts mirroring it. This explains how real change occurs, not via single massive revelation, but through thousands of subtle inner exchanges. There exists a spiritual aspect here also. Ham music, the vibration you maintain in your thinking forms the vibration you project outward. When your internal conversation stems from terror, you proceed carefully, guardedly, defensively. But when your internal conversation stems from confidence, ham music, confidence in your capacity to acquire, to expand, to rebound, to advance, you proceed openly. And openness draws possibilities. Not since the cosmos abruptly alters ham music, but since you finally stand ready to accept what always existed. I frequently express this: the world reacts to the version of yourself you accept as real. If you accept smallness, the world appears overwhelming. If you accept development, the world appears as an educational space. If you accept capability, the world starts resembling an expanse of opportunities rather than endless hazards. So begin noticing not merely your spoken words, but your quiet self-address when difficulties arise. When do you declare, "I'm a complete disaster"? Or do you declare, "I'm gaining understanding"? When another thrives, do you ham music declare, "I'll never attain that height"? Or do you declare, "If they achieved it, advancement remains possible for me also"? These tiny mental decisions form your outer reality, and your emotional reality forms your conduct. Ham music, and your conduct forms your tomorrow. Your existence isn't constructed solely in grand instants. It forms through the unseen dialogues you maintain with yourself daily. And here is something I wish you to hold as you follow this path. This marks merely the start. What we discuss presently forms the base. The upcoming lessons carry even greater strength, even deeper change. And if this reality concerning your mind already connects with you, remain here until the concluding elements, since the profounder transformations still approach music, and you wouldn't want to overlook what unifies everything. But before continuing, take a silent instant and question yourself sincerely: what narrative has my mind been replaying about my existence? And more crucially, does that narrative strengthen me? Or does it silently restrict the individual I'm evolving into? Every person reaches a point when they recognize the true struggle never existed externally. It lived internally. And that recognition marks where the sixth reality commences. Self-knowledge stands as your ultimate strength. Not skill, not fortune, not networks. Self-knowledge. Because once you genuinely comprehend your own thinking, your tendencies, your triggers, your anxieties, and your abilities, you cease responding to existence mechanically and begin addressing it deliberately. Most individuals invest years attempting to manage their surroundings. Ham music, switching careers, switching locations, switching partnerships, pursuing fresh aims. Yet few halt sufficiently to comprehend the single constant companion everywhere: themselves. Ham music, and that explains why identical challenges frequently reappear differently. The identical pressure, ham music, the identical disputes, the identical self-sabotage. Since without grasping music, your inner landscape, your external landscape continues reflecting the same teachings until you prepare to recognize them. Self-knowledge involves no self-criticism. Ham music, it involves watching yourself with truthfulness and kindness. Ham music, it resembles stepping beyond your existence briefly and observing your ideas, your responses. Ham music, your routines, your self-address, your reaction when circumstances deviate. Do you withdraw? Do you grow guarded? Do you overanalyze? Do you pursue ham music validation? These tendencies fail to define you, yet until visible, they subtly direct you. Picture ham music operating a high-performance vehicle blindfolded. That describes how most ham music navigate existence. Brimming with promise, brimming with vitality, yet ignorant of the actual steering force. Self-knowledge means removing the blindfold. Abruptly you understand why specific scenarios exhaust you. Ham music, why specific settings create unease, why specific individuals spark doubt or irritation. And rather than faulting existence, you pose a stronger inquiry. What does this scenario expose about myself? I recall believing power required constant persistence, her music constant agreement, constant demonstration of handling everything. Externally it resembled drive, internally it meant fatigue, her music, and silent dread of letting others down. Only through genuine honesty with myself, some music, complete honesty, did I recognize I wasn't merely working diligently. I was escaping the unease of refusal. That recognition never weakened me. Her music, it granted liberation. Since once patterns become visible, choice appears. And choice houses your strength. Lacking knowledge, you her music recycle. Possessing knowledge, you advance. And advancement rarely arrives dramatically. It arrives through brief pauses. The pause preceding response, the pause preceding agreement, the pause preceding self-judgment. That pause marks growth's hey music origin. Self-knowledge transforms your connection to feelings also. Most either fall captive to feelings or detach entirely. Her music yet knowledge reveals something profounder. Feelings serve as indicators, not her music orders. Worry signals, rage her music signals, dread signals. Rather than wondering, why do I behave this way? You begin wondering, what message does this emotion carry? Shen music. Perhaps worry highlights misalignment. Perhaps rage reveals a limit requiring enforcement. Perhaps dread guards the frontier of your expansion. When you music attend rather than silence, feelings guide rather than hinder. And this holds profound spiritual significance, since increased awareness quiets mental chaos. You cease responding to every judgment, every contrast, every outside demand. You start distinguishing your authentic desires from burdens unconsciously absorbed from culture, relatives, or her music anxiety. You begin existing from your core rather than external force. And core existence clarifies decisions, steadies vitality, strengthens assurance quietly yet deeply. One profound She music transformation self-knowledge brings involves recognizing your vitality. Not everybody merits entry to it. Not every chance merits acceptance. Not every route suits him music you despite external appeal. Unaware, you pursue appearances. Aware, you select alignment. And alignment generates tranquility. The tranquility independent of outside approval. Recall occasions feeling depleted after agreeing to unwanted things or remaining quiet to prevent discord only to harbor bitterness afterward. Her music that occurs when disregarding your inner guidance. Self-knowledge restores hearing that guidance. Her music, initially faint, simple to ignore, yet increased attention strengthens it until it serves as your direction. This knowledge reshapes perception of flaws also. Hey music, rather than concealing, you comprehend them. Rather than shame, you collaborate with them since knowledge lifts denial's emotional burden. It permits declaring, yes, here I falter and now growth becomes possible. Growth turns deliberate music rather than random. And most overlook this. Self-knowledge improves connections too. Understanding triggers prevents projecting onto others. Understanding doubts prevents endless validation seeking. Understanding requirements enables clear expression instead of assuming others into it. You cease responding from injuries and begin from clarity. And that alters everything, yet truth remains. Self-knowledge rarely feels pleasant. Occasionally it exposes disliked patterns, ignored anxieties, restrictive habits, but unease never opposes you. Unease her music opens the entrance. Since each choice favoring knowledge over escape reclaims power gradually until something remarkable emerges, you cease feeling existence happens to you. You begin consciously crafting existence. You address rather than react. Hey music, you select rather than float. You advance rather than recycle. And freedom originates here. Hey music, not when surroundings perfect themselves, but when knowledge strengthens sufficiently that surroundings cease dominating your inner condition. If this reality connects with you, remain because upcoming lessons grow stronger. What follows unites everything, and you'll regret skipping final revelations that convert knowledge into meaning. But before proceeding, pause for one truthful inquiry. When did you last genuinely watch yourself absent criticism? Since clarity in self-observation, your tendencies, your anxieties, our abilities, your reality, ends autopilot existence. An ending autopilot transforms not merely routines but trajectory. And occasionally that single awareness adjustment redirects your entire path. Many undervalue a crucial reality. yet it silently molds every chance, every connection, every encounter drawn into your existence. Your vitality shapes your surroundings. Before speech utters, before credentials display, before gifts gain notice, your vitality arrives first. Others sense it. Existence reacts to it. Possibilities gravitate toward or retreat from it. And crucially, your vitality isn't enigmatic or random. It emerges from your thinking, your emotional condition, your self-convictions, and the narrative carried daily. Recall entering spaces anxious, uncertain, or doubtful. Perhaps nothing failed yet, but tension gripped your form, uncertainty tinged your tone. Your thinking already anticipated refusal. Now recall another occasion feeling centered, thankful, purposeful. The identical reality appeared altered. Her music exchanges moved differently. Responses shifted. Circumstances perhaps stayed constant. Her music, yet your vitality transformed. And vitality's shift changed music your encounter. This explains why identical chances yield opposite results for different individuals. One bears dread, another possibility. One dwells on potential failure, another on contribution. And her music existence reflects the vitality presented. I grasped this during realizations that achievement transcends readiness or her music expertise. It includes presence also. Certain spaces held my credentials, my background, my readiness. Yet entering with self-questioning, her music, that questioning subtly affected speech, posture, reactions. But entering with clarity, modesty and self-value, conviction, transformation occurred. Others perceived not merely my efforts. They sensed my assurance, my purpose, her music, my dedication. Vitality expresses beyond language. Her music and deeper reality your surroundings form not only through actions but through tolerated emotions. Constant negativity, contrast, bitterness, or dread in thinking creates your climate. You notice deficits more than strengths. Her music, you view neutral events as dangers. You anticipate letdown and unconsciously ready for it. Gradually, her music, this mental climate molds external reality since perception guides reaction and reactions guide outcomes. Yet reverse proves equally valid. Deliberately nurturing appreciation even for minor elements, her music your mind scans for functionality rather than absence. Practicing composure amid pressure, you address rather than react. Carrying intention into tasks, even ordinary ones, music gains significance. Vitality never demands perpetual optimism, music, or feigning simplicity. It requires emotional accountability. It requires selecting awareness over emotional default. Daily you transmit something. Tension or steadiness, doubt or dignity, resentment or advancement. And existence matches that signal. Another vital element involves recognizing vitality's deep influence from permitted people and settings. Constant exposure to pessimism, judgment, rumors, or despair music gradually sets your emotional standard. Motivation fades initially unnoticed, yet mindset contracts, assurance diminishes. Her music vitality spreads, yet advancement spreads also. Time with focused, hopeful, disciplined. Her music intentional individuals raises your perspective. Their benchmarks shape your practices. Her music, their outlook broadens your thoughts. Safeguarding vitality isn't egoistic. Her music, it's essential. It requires deliberate choices about consumed content, engaged discussions, maintained settings, and permitted influences on inner speech. It requires safeguarding from yourself also, from excessive analysis, persistent self-judgment, habitual mistake revisiting. Her music, your thinking can strengthen or deplete depending on training. Her music, spiritual depth exists in vitality many ignore. Actions matching values lighten vitality. Honesty, integrity, priority, aligned choices bring quiet inner balance. Yet fear-driven, approval-driven, or comparison-driven actions scatter and weigh vitality. Alignment generates music, tranquility, and tranquility generates clarity, and clarity reveals possibilities that tension and distraction conceal. This explains why peace protection functions as growth strategy rather than indulgence. The strongest transformation involves shifting from controlling surroundings to